Yeah, you can see from behind me we've got a series of ponds now which are in pretty good condition because we've removed a lot of the shading so the light's right. This is reed mace typha on this pond, which does tend to take over completely. So what we're doing, we've cleared a small area in the corner there to push it back a bit. Moorhen nest in the middle, so we don't want to clear it all. So we clear the other ponds of reed mace. There's also another invasive, branch burreed, which is a smaller species, also tends to take over, so we've cleared it from the second pond. There's small amounts of it in here, but I'm not bothered about that. This pond we're sort of, letting go to a sort of pond stroke marsh, and the other ponds we want to keep as nice viable ponds. The area down to the right here of the pond is actually a massive habitat pile made out of loads of logs from several years ago, and it's been covered with compost. So that's one of the reasons the amphibians are doing so well, because they use that as a hiberniculum in winter. They actually come from all over the system and go into the hiberniculum to hibernate and then come out again in spring. So that artificial hiberniculum is probably, and the fact that the ponds are in really good condition, means that we've got really superb amphibian populations, particularly common frog, common toad as well, and palmate newt. Smooth newt, for some reason, and I've looked a lot in this areas, it doesn't seem to get up this high in North Bolton. It's predominantly palmate, and up the road at Cotsgreen Curry we've got crested newt in. I think eventually crested newts will colonise this system here. They're probably within 3/4 of a mile now, but might actually be closer, and they can do like 250 metres, so it might be just a matter of time before they actually recolonise. Broadleaf pondweed, which you can see is the one that's dominating the pond with the oval shaped leaves, that actually came on its own. We've introduced a number of species, all of which are doing quite well. There's actually starwort came in on its own, which is this one here. Beautiful thing. This is a nice oxygenator. This green one here is starwort. There's also fringe water lily, which appears to have died back because I can't actually see any leaves of it on here. But in total, I think there's something like in between 15 and 20 species of oxygenators and floaters, which is very good. It's really quite rich botanically now. There's also one really specialist plant in here, which is one of a few locations in Bolton where we found it, which is a pondweed, quite uncommon, and it looks like shiny pondweed, but we're not 100% sure, so I think it might be a hybrid, but it's certainly quite an unusual one. I can't show you it now because it's died back, but you can see this is, well, so it reflects on the, how warm it's been. Well, these plants, we're now November, and these plants are in full flow. They should be dying back by now. These are actually, these have not been affected by frost or anything. They're just continuing to grow. The waterfall there you can see is the second pond is much higher than the first pond. So it was finding its way through, but it was actually eroding. So what he did, he put some large rocks in and it still carried on eroding. So he had me and Tom in, and we actually, you can't see it now, but in the drainage channel that links the middle pond to this pond here, we put in a sheet of a butyl rubber liner and lined it with that, and then we concreted stone in. So now it doesn't actually erode the sides; it just runs along the butyl rubber and then cascades down in a waterfall effect. So there's been quite a bit of tinkering with levels and putting pipes in to facilitate this movement through of water, but at the same time trying to stop the erosive effect of water, because You imagine in a thunderstorm here, the water's movement through this system is really, you know, quite hectic, and it's like it can do a lot of erosive damage in a short space of heavy rain. So by regulating the flow through with these various pipes and waterfalls, we want to try and keep the system looking like this for as long as possible.